cases. So, he speaks in code a lot. He speaks in code, and he was called by the Most High to transition to buffer you so you can follow Galatians 4:4 and 4:5. He was the 44th president of Galatians 4:4. He's the transition to the Christ governance, and he's going to be the last president, because after that, they have found out the only ones that really can elect anybody on the soil is black Americans. Because like I said, the black woman is the supremacy clause. Now, he is your friend because he is a covenant heir with the supremacy clause, and he has children. So that means he's behind the 15th Amendment, which is a non-consenting amendment. So that means every piece of legislation he signs has non-consent jurisdiction. So see, he's a dual agent, and he's tricking Babylon while you sleep. If he signed an Amnesty Act, he signed it under non-consent jurisdiction. If he signed a gay rights, he signed it under non-consent jurisdiction. In other words, any legislation he's signing behind the 15th New Jerusalem wall, because he's there with his 14th a woman and his 13th children who was born under voluntary servitude by consent, because she's Judah. And when you're not, and Judah is the only one to make non-consenters. President Obama is Hamitic and European. He's a consenter. So their children is going to be consenters. Because it takes a Judah man and a Judah woman to make a non-consenter, all persons born. Like Diana Ross have children, and Rhonda Ross is the non-consenter. Her other children is the consenters, but they all part of the Holy Covenant because they came from that black woman womb. They came from her, and she's protected by the 15th wall. So any black man that's not with a black woman, and in Babylon, he's jumping over the 15th wall. And what he's doing is he's jumping into blood and debt contracts. He's jumping in abomination of blood and debt contracts. So he may have cash for a minute, but contractually he is destitute. And that goes for all football, basketball, all artists like Quincy Jones. He's destitute. He's destitute by contract because we got a supreme contract on it. His children, like Sarah said, will not be heirs with her children. We are the heirs of Sarah's children. So therefore, since God is our supreme creator and we are under a kingship, we're not the rest of the world. The Most High told you he would keep you a set apart. You're non-consenters, so you're not part of the rest of the world. So you're not governed like they did. You didn't even consent to go into contract, so you didn't consent to be governed. So he's not the president of you. He cannot govern you. It's your job to govern your wealth in that constitution. And it's your job to let him know only you elected him because you're the only one with the true constitutional vote, and the other votes are non-consented because a black man 15th can non-consent the whole world if they voted and make their contracts just done by a nullification. The black supremacy clause can non-consent the whole world and make their birthrights and everything nullified. Just like even if a black man jump over the 15th wall, he make blood contracts with Babylon, he's still married to the black woman because he came from a non-consenter. So she has non-consenter preemptively on him. So all he doing is making bastard children of adultery. But still, he's a Malachi, referred to the Bible, a Malachi 2:11 cutoff. So this is what I want you to understand, that you better wake up. You're sleeping way over time. When you think the fact that Merle, Medgar Evers, Dr. King, Malcolm X was woke 40 years ago, and you in this slumber and got your nose all up in this corporate ass trying to act like Babylon, crying, oh, President Obama say he was not the president of us. Yeah, because you under the king rule. You don't want, this is why they whipped you with the Bible, because they didn't want you to understand that your identity was with that Bible. So they whipped you and threw the Bible in your face so you could detest the Bible and then become Muslims and say you was a bondwoman's son, say you was Hagar children, and you still going around following Louis Farrakhan. A lot of you talking about you Hagar children, talking about you a bondwoman. Well, Louis Farrakhan is a corporate doctrine contractor. That means he is not of constitutionality. Now his wife may be, but that's a different story. But he not. He has children, and the reason he not, because he consented to a criminal act. And if he consented to a criminal act, as he did on film and everything, then he will not be in our contract, because the contract holds 10 commandments. Otherwise, he would have been Ephraim, like President Obama. But that's another story. The whole point that I want you to understand is King Yahshua is taking over King David's throne, and you don't understand you're 3/5 because you span the third, fourth, and fifth dimension. And King David has been your king all along, you know. And but see, you don't understand, they can't do nothing with your contract. Even though you sleeping, your contract still supremes everything. And that's why you hate it, not because of your skin, because you're sleeping and don't know what you have, and your contract supremes everything, including President Obama. And so, you know, that's the point that I'm trying to make. Now, you need to go to JahClue at blogspot.com at the end of this, so you can get your decree, and have proof beyond proof beyond proof beyond proof. The Most High, the King David Kingdom gave me the decree to give to you. I got over 4,000 pages of information that will put you in a level of God thinking. You cannot do without this, because you're still sleep enough to cry about what he said instead of saying, you're right. You're not the president of us. And you better remember that. And you better remember that we're the constitutional supreme citizens, and we're the only one on this land that can truly put you in the place to steer our mule. And so therefore, don't think that you're going to keep on getting away with not sitting at the table with us, okay? Because we can preemptively nullify you. See, one of the good things about this supreme genius constitution is that we love Michelle Obama, but since in truth Judah is married to Judah, she has what you call a technical breach. She's still protected behind the 15th Jerusalem wall, but she has a technical breach because Judah is married to Judah. Now, that technical breach exists because if her husband gets out of line, then she won't be able to step in place and stop us if we have to put him in his place. You see, and this is why you need a decree, because you need to understand constitutional law. You need to understand Dr. Ivan Van Sertima said a nuclear bomb went off your head. Black people say, oh, I'm all right, I'm all right, I'm all right. And they the most disunified people on the planet, still thinking they all right. The genocide level among black men is ridiculous. The disunity among black women while their babies are dying is ridiculous. And you think you're not controlled by Dracons? Dracon has a large part of control of your brain. And this is why the Most High said, forgive your brother 70 times 70, because he knows you're being controlled by Dracons, and they're the dark principalities in higher places. And I know they exist because I see them falling. They're attacking me, okay? And Whitney Houston said they attacked her, and they wanted to blame it because she had an addiction problem. No, she said them demons was attacking her. She was attacking her because she had moved beyond the third dimension. And so they're attacking me. And I see how they look, and I see them in people's brain, and people don't know they got a whole feast of them in your brain a lot. So you need to go to where at the end of this tape it tells you to go to get your decree. It's at a reasonable price. The price is just basically to make sure you get the information and to make sure you read it, because if you give you something free, then you take it for granted, because that's what the nuclear explosion Dr. Ivan Van Sertima said your head trained you to do. This is Mary Omni from the House of King David. I'm the woman of the law of Galatians 4:4. Shalom. This has been a Republic Notice.